like moths, but then it ends up becoming a food source for some animals. And then if you kill off all the things of that thing, then it becomes harder for another species to get food, because then that food is dead, and then that thing starts dying off, and then unless if they can adapt.
So, Harrison, I want to ask you a question. Okay,
it seems like most creatures don't know how to adapt as well as humans. You know, like because all they know is to go after one thing, and then when it's gone, it's just like, wait.
See, there's 13 treasures in that tunnel. Okay, so how many sublevels do you think there are?
13.
See, the last one had more than 13. Okay, but what happened was they're more likely to.
So it's not less than 13. I was gonna think like they don't start doubling up 2 on 1.
No. Some of them actually do that. Like the last level is I think 16, but it's only like 6 worlds, because the final level has like 7 treasures in one. Because the final boss has 7 treasures in one, and you got to keep ripping off the treasures to make sure that it stops killing my teammates. Because one's poison, one's water, one's thunder, one's lightning, fire, one's I think ground. And then Louis, you know. And then Hall of Heroes is not the. See, I don't like the Hall of Heroes that much, but the final boss is kind of a pushover, because it's just, you'll see what the final boss is of Hall of Heroes. It's kind of a pushover. He's still difficult because he can kill like countless Pikmin like one hit if you're not careful. But
I still think it's funny how we can go on forever talking about video games. I can do the same thing with manga too. Manga and anime too. I can go on and on because I've seen and read and so many of them.
One question. Oh, it's right here. I was about to say, where's that lone?
And then you could probably go on forever about movies because you've seen so many.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a decent amount of movies too, just probably not as much as you. It's just like, yeah.
I couldn't. I've watched quite.
And I could probably relate to a decent amount of them, but not all of them. Cause you've definitely seen like a lot. Cause
you see,
I've tried. Like, there's a lot of times where I'll try to watch a movie. It's like I can't stand it, and then I won't watch it.
My genre, not the genre of movies, but my extent of movie knowledge ends at the 70s. You know, like it begins at the 70s, but then that's it. It goes on past. It doesn't go any further than the 70s. That's
so 70s to 80s.
70s to 2000s. You know what I mean? 70s to 2000s.
So kind of older movies, but not too old.
And present day, I can tell you a bit of present day.
Oh yeah,
movies,
of course, because a lot of present day movies.
But I don't like a lot of present day movies, you know, because I think that they add things that don't need to be added. So they kind of get to a point where, they're good, not great. You know?
There's a show I was watching that was fine, but then there's like of course there's some penis in there, and then there's whatever. But I was like, honestly, and then there's boobs.
Okay.
Boobs because they're at like a strip club, right?
Yeah.
They're at a club. Then penis because the guy was invisible and he had to be naked to be invisible, and then they showed his penis, and it was just like, okay, I mean I kind of get why you showed the penis, but at the same time,
that's a little fun.
You didn't have to show penis.
No, they didn't have to.
He was standing naked, invisible in the bathroom. Like, I know you're there, and then he became visible. He's like, what?
There was So I was watching.
Well, it seems like nowadays, whenever they have to go to a club or a strip club at any time anymore, they just have the boobs all the time, like.
Which is actually not all strip clubs.
When, like in the past, when they'd do that, they'd just either not show the boobs, or they'd have like some censorship of some sort. But nowadays, it's just like, who the fuck cares? They just show them, and it's just like. See,
I got to this point where
it doesn't bother me too much, but if they're showing like, obviously if a show shows like a lot of dick over and over again, it's like I don't want to look at dicks. Or if it has if it just straight up has a lot of nudity, like. Yeah, and it just a lot of sex.
Well, look, it doesn't need it. If you can draw my attention, but you have to draw.
I mean, in the few cases I was talking about with like nudity, I see why there is nudity because they had to go to that location for the plot, and so then there's nudity. But then there wasn't any really sex. Well, there was like one little sex thing because it was for the plot, but.
You see, when I get to, there's a certain point where I don't need that to get my attention.
But there's a lot of movies and stuff that just show it for no, like where it's just sex scene, which just show everything. It's like, okay, not needed, and then they'll do it again like 20 minutes later. It's like, okay, that's twice.
I don't need that to get my attention.
You can just you can just show them going to the bed and then skip to the next morning or something, you know? Because I mean, sure, I mean, you get the same message. So like, but either way, it's.
Okay, I was watching a new movie. It was a Will Ferrell. It's a new Will Ferrell movie on Netflix. You know, where he's a singer. You know.
I watched it. Eurovision.
I couldn't get into it. I could not get into it. I watched a little bit of it, and I was like, it's okay.
It's a slow start.
I mean, it's not even funny. It wasn't like one of Will Ferrell's like funnier stuff. It's like.
No, it didn't really feel like a comedy.
Yeah, no.
No, I watched it all the way through. It wasn't really a comedy. But honestly, like, it was one of those movies that had a slow start, but after when things started moving along, it got better.
One of the people that my mom.
But then I watched an Adam Sandler movie right after that, and I forget what movie it was. But then I was like, this movie fucking sucked ass, and I watched the whole thing. I mean, my opinion kind of sucked ass. Because I watched the whole thing, hoping it was gonna get. I don't remember what it's called.
The Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, but I remember I watched it all. I mean, my opinion, I didn't really like it. I watched it all the way through, hoping it would get better. But then at the end, it was just. In my opinion, it was like a bad ending.
His older stuff is
like,
great. His older stuff is good.
I think it was a Netflix
The
one.
Netflix original ones are not.
I was like, what? I'm like, the Eurovision, the Will Ferrell exclusive Netflix one was better than the Adam Sandler exclusive one. Netflix original, because they both had originals. I was like, I guess since I have nothing to watch, I'll watch them. I didn't mind. I don't know. It was about him. It was about Adam Sandler like pawning and whatnot and gambling.
that one.
And then he dies at the end.
Yeah, that
Spoiler.
one. I know what you're talking about.
I was like, what's the point then?
It's the one where he's the.
It's like, oh, because he doesn't get a good ending. It's like, okay, yeah, I get that, but like,
I think I know which one you're talking about. See, it wasn't funny, was it? You know.
It was
trying to be funny?
No, it was supposed to be a kind of more serious thing. He just keeps getting bad luck, and his life keeps getting worse and worse. And at the end, it gets to the point where like if things finally turned around, he finally won. But then they just kill him. It's just like, wait, well, the point of me watching this movie was wasted.
You see, when you take.
You can't just have a movie and just have bad things happen, because it's supposed to build up to the where like things turn around, but no. It went through bad, turn around, no, bad.
Not all comedians can do
serious movies.
Serious stuff, okay? Like some of the
wasn't good.
Some of the Will Ferrell ones that are actually serious aren't that good.
And so like
there's one.
So what I'm saying, like, because I watched the Eurovision and Will Ferrell thing first, then I watched that movie. I was like, you know what? The Eurovision was way better than that. Like, at least I didn't feel like I wasted my time with the Eurovision.
Question about that, okay? The Eurovision, I'm probably not gonna go back to.
It was just a singing competition.
I know. I watched most of it. I got to the part.
And then the main plot of it was the
winning
having conflicting viewpoints to the point where they almost broke apart. Then of course they come back together, and then happy ending.
You see, where I stopped was she woke up in the bed next to the Russian. That's where I last ended up. Because I couldn't keep watching it because I couldn't stand the stupid Cher song that was playing, the sing-along Cher song, okay? I'm not a Cher person. I don't like Cher. Okay? No, we were watching it, and my mom said that when she went to work the other day, she told friends about it, and he said he cried during it. And I was like...
Because it did get better. Like, the first half was really, like, the boring, not so good, but then after that point it got better. Because, I almost quit within the first hour, because the first hour is so boring. It was like, okay, where's the point of this?
You see, my dad, he liked Grease, okay? He liked Grease, okay? But he doesn't like singing movies. You know, you get what I mean?
I usually don't watch singing movies either.
He liked Grease, but he liked it for a different. He liked the songs of Grease, but he doesn't like all musicals. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my mom.
Like
on the other hand,
for everybody that doesn't like like a genre of something, they always have one exception.
But my dad likes.
I've noticed that with everybody.
But
Like they will hate something, but then there'll be one exception to that rule always.
But he likes Rent too. You know what I mean? He likes Rent. Rent's a singing movie. I don't like singing movies.
So you seen how the I think you seen the ghost because I think to the point of the movie, they already showed the ghost of one of the dead singer that was supposed to make it to the thing. He was on this. Oh yeah, I think it happened after, a little bit later because they're fighting. He was on the stage by himself practicing, and then she appeared in front of him.
Oh, Demi Lovato? Did she show back
She
up?
appeared in front of him and said, "Leave the competition."
You
Blah
didn't
blah blah
deserve
blah.
it. Yeah, you don't deserve
But he
it.
was thinking that she was just telling him not to be there because he didn't deserve it. Whatever. But then he finds out.
Shit.
But then he finds out it was because he was going to be killed, right?
Killed?
Yeah, like because the singers were killed. Remember, blew up on the boat, and that's why they made it. So then when he flies back home, because he didn't think they were going to make it to the finals or the semifinals. But then they did, and then he finds out, and he tries to go back, but then one of the people.
Okay, there was a funny thing where it blew up, and they said the elves have gone too far.
Yeah.
Okay,
No. But then
that was funny.
But then he was gonna kill Will Ferrell, right? But then they actually were elves, and then they killed the dude to save
the
Will
Russian?
Ferrell. No,
there's another dude. Okay.
the suspicious dude that was against them
There
having.
really are elves.
The suspicious dude was against having Eurovision on, because if they were win, they would have to host it, and so he was against it, and all of a sudden the boat exploded.
So there really are elves.
So he was gonna kill. He was strangling Will Ferrell, and then he's like, and he fell over. There's a knife in his back, and then the elf door shut.
There really are elves.
And then the elf door shut. He's like, "Thank you, elves."
There really are elves.
So there was some funny things here and there. Like I can say the second half was better than the first half, but I was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't quit in the first half.
We might go back and watch it. It
was just the first half was boring, and also it was just like, that's why like when you said you stopped in the first half, I was like, it gets better in the second half.
I just really couldn't get past the share scene.
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't. You know what I mean? I mean, could they picked another song? You know? I mean, anyone but.
Ya ding dong, ding dong.
Oh yeah. Play ya ding dong.
Fine.
You don't want to hear our new song? No.
Play the Eurovision song.
There was a. Do you know who?
No, but yeah, I can say the second half was the better part. The first half almost. I was almost quit the movie.
You don't know.
But the Adam Sandler Netflix one, I just couldn't. After watching it, because I was gonna quit that one in the first hour too, but then I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try like Eurovision.
The thing is,
and then I was like, okay, I regret watching it.
You don't know who. You don't know who the is.
Which is usually what like. That's why whenever I watch a movie, like when the first hour and I don't like it, usually why I quit, because usually I already have a feeling about those movies when I watch them, because it's just like, if I don't like it in the first hour, I'm not gonna like it, and usually that's true.
So the thing is though, when you were watching Eurovision, you didn't know who the actress that was with Will Ferrell was together. Do you know what movie she's most famous for?
I think at the end it said that she's from Canada or something.
Do you know what she's most famous for? Notebook.
Which one?
Notebook.
Notebook.
You know one of the most famous.
I always heard about Notebook, but never.
One of the most famous,
That's one of those movies where
of all time.
I hear about the movie, but I never.
She's the main girl in the movie, and my dad's like, yes, that's Notebook. I'm like, no. She's
See if the movie doesn't.
Do you know who else is?
Like when a movie or a show or a game doesn't interest me enough, I could know about the name, but not too much more about it. But like I know of its existence.
Do you know who else was in the Notebook? Ryan Gosling. You know, the guy that was also in La La Land and what's that other movie called? Blade Runner. The new Blade Runner movie.
And then I'm like, I don't know that movie. I mean, I've heard of the movie. I heard of the movie, but I don't know anything about it or what's in it.
You see, I know. See, like I said, I know movies. So when you said, do you? So if you ever ask me about a movie, I'd be like, yeah, blah blah. Or try to give you an answer if I know, you know. Because there's some movies I don't know.
And then I think there's movies I watched that you haven't.
Mm-hmm. Like that Adam Sandler. I never watched it.
Yeah, I can tell you that if you guys tried to watch it, because it's a Netflix original, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, and you'll see how boring it is, and you probably won't like it. I mean, I definitely didn't like it, and then at the end, I was like, okay, so things are no, okay.
Do you
fuck this movie?
Okay, so I've never told you.
I really don't like movies that's like. It's all shit all the way through, and then at the end it's supposed to be better, but then it's like, no, the end is shit.
Oh, you mean like this? Okay, so there's a movie.
And it was super slow paced, and there wasn't really anything in it either. Or it's just like,
So there's a movie that Will Ferrell played. Okay, so it's supposed to be a serious movie, and it kind of is, you know. So in this,
I have like. Just like music, I like a lot. I can watch a lot of different genres of movies too, but that one was just
so not all.
So I think Eurovision could be considered like musical-esque because there's a lot of singing in it, but
what was $1,000 coin?
You know, just like what's it called? There's 3 movies with the acapellas. We're singing all. It's literally a music competition. I forget what it's called. Like acapella singing. Each movie is basically about acapella competition.
So
why can't I think of it?
I have no idea. Oh, you mean no. It's not Glee's a show. That Glee is kind of like acapella, but it's not.
With
I can never watch. I can never get, dude.
I can't think of any other names.
I would never be able to get into Glee. You know what I mean? I've always heard good things about it, but there's no way I'd ever get into it. I could never get into it.
Okay, I just remember one of the actresses, Anna Kendrick.
Oh, Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect. I was like, I just need to remember at least one of the actors or actresses' names from that movie, and you'll probably know. Yeah, Pitch Perfect. Like, that's one I think I watched and I didn't mind it, like a musical.
But that's a comedy.
Mm-hmm. The first one was fine. I watched the second one, was like, the second one, and then I never watched the third one because after the second one, I was like, I don't know.
I've never seen them before, but I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah. The only name I could think of was Anna Kendrick.
There was
and then and then there's Rebel Wilson, and then who else is in there?
You could just.
All it needed was the one
look,
name.
as soon as you said a girl name, I'm like, oh, it's Pitch Perfect. It's the girls.
Acapella.
If you were gonna, so there was a.
See, that one wasn't that bad. The first one, the second one was kind of iffy. See, Eurovision was fine.
There was a movie I watched. It had Will Ferrell. It was supposed to be a not comedy. So this girl writes in her diary about things that go on about a certain man. So so she wrote down this man was gonna get fired. Will Ferrell got fired that day. See, she would tell his future. So one of the days she wrote down that he was gonna get hit by a bus. Okay.
So then she tried to stop it.